All right, well, Bitcoin's pretty this morning, and what the is going on? Because this is absolutely wild, right? $75,000 for Bitcoin. Altcoins absolutely decimated. But what on earth is going on? What has caused this? And where might we be going next? That's what we're going to be discussing in today's video. Let's jump straight into it. So Rodney very amply put here, what is going on? Well, silver, of course, as you know, got absolutely annihilated. Gold also pretty annihilated, which is, absolutely obscene. Like I've been saying, I actually can't believe my eyes. An 18% drop for silver, right? In a 3-day period, an 18% move. And I'm in no way here to tell you I told you so, but this is exactly what we were expecting. Look at this. Back in November 25, all of the crashes that gold has had in the nearest time has been nothing like this, guys. Look at that. That took the same move for gold in 2020. It took almost 1 year, right, to crash what it just did in 3 days. We also have here a bottom formation, which also took almost a year there, and it went down 20%. So a similar move here in the near history of gold takes half a year or more. So the way the markets are moving are absolutely insane right now. There is a lot of uncertainty in the market, and the overall markets, the S&P 500, they don't like uncertainty. But normally gold and silver, they do like uncertainty because that's where people flood their money. But it's not happening. Why is it not happening? Well, guys, I think it's actually relatively simple. Gold and silver have been absolutely wildly pumping, and whenever we see a parabolic rise like that, right, we get a crash like this. So again, if you bought the high of gold and silver, if you didn't buy and you were simply watching, if you're thinking I should have, if you're thinking I should have shorted it, whatever it is, study these moves, guys, because these moves, it's great to see this happen in the outside of crypto markets, because we can then quickly apply this to the crypto markets. What do we do when the market goes wildly up? What do we do when the market goes wildly down? What comes just after those moments, right? We can see in gold, for example, when there is a wild push to the downside, there is also normally a relief rally bounce almost directly after. You can see here as well. You can see here. You can see nearly every time we get some sort of relief rally. So study the charts. Study gold and silver. Study the S&P 500. What's it doing? How is it behaving with the news? And what is pushing it up and pushing it down? And then apply that to the way Bitcoin moves. Because Bitcoin moves like more significantly than these overall markets, right? So right now, we see Bitcoin from the high to the low down 40%. Not an unheard of occurrence by Bitcoin. And right now we are simply exactly on this previous low. Now, I would very much expect there to be more of a push to the downside to wick into this area, which also pushes us into this area. That's what I expect. That doesn't mean I'm not moving on this news. This morning, I bought both on the spot market and in my lower leverage, longer term swing trades right here, just to have my longer term trades still bullish. I don't care if we drop to here. I don't care if we drop to here. And I don't care. Actually, I'd be lovely and very excited if we dropped there. It would be horrible for the short term of my portfolio, yes. But guys, when you've been in the market as long as I have, which by the way isn't that long, just since 2017, you get to learn that, okay, what is my biggest regret? Like I've been saying, we study the other charts. We look at them. We figure out what should we have done in moments like this, right? What should we have done? You can answer this question for yourself. What should you have done in this moment, right? If you're a long-term believer in the S&P 500, what about here? What about here? What about here, right? What should we be doing, right? You answer me that in the comment section. What do you think? But for me, when I look back in the history of Bitcoin, every time we're here, I look back and I go, do you know what? Why did I not just do nothing other than buy more Bitcoin, buy more Bitcoin, buy more Bitcoin, buy more Bitcoin, buy more Bitcoin? This is my own personal thought process. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but that's every time, guys. Every time. I started to buy Bitcoin at $40,000, right? And then I bought more down here. I don't look back on this and think, oh, you were an idiot buying at 40. It dropped 50% more. I think right from where we are right now, what a genius for buying right here, but you're a dumbass for not buying more here. So I'm going to buy more here as we are, just like I bought more here, just like I bought, I think I started, was that, oh no, around this region I was buying more, but I stopped buying when we started to rally. So simple process for me personally, and I'm only saying it because I want to keep reiterating it for myself to just as much remind myself and remind you guys of what I'm doing. I buy Bitcoin in fear because I personally believe in Bitcoin. What else do I believe in? The S&P 500. I believe in the US economy. Why do I believe in it? Because the Magnificent Seven, for example, are not just based in the US. So even if the US does badly, guess what? Africa uses Facebook. Asia uses Facebook. The Middle East uses Google, right? All of these things are still used by the rest of the world. So the Mag 7 sits in America. So the S&P 500 gives me access to those big companies plus a bunch of others. Then I have things like Berkshire Hathaway in my portfolio because I believe that's a hedge against crypto. Old Warren Buffett hates crypto. So I'm going to buy some of that to hedge my crypto bet, right? I'm going to continue to average into these positions if we get annihilation in these markets. So if the S&P 500 drops, which I think it's probably going to do. If the S&P 500 drops, by the way, from where we are to about there, it's a 12% drop. And guess what? That's still higher than this drop just last year. If it continues to drop, I'm going to continue to DCA. Why do I continue to DCA? Well, I make money monthly. I have supplementary income after my food, rent, utilities, paying off my credit card. I have extra money. Instead of saving it, I put it into the markets I believe in that I want to hold for 10, 20, 30 years. Real estate, like stocks, ETFs, and Bitcoin. All right. And then smaller amounts into higher risk. What's higher risk? BMNR, CleanSpark, if I want stocks that are crypto adjacent. And then I have things like dividend stocks. Then I have things like Ethereum, Solana, XRP. Large funds, large amounts go into the highest conviction, lower risk, lower reward. Smaller amounts of money go into lower conviction, but they have higher risk, higher reward. XRP maybe does a 10x. Solana maybe does a 10x. Dogecoin maybe does a 10x. But I think Bitcoin over 10 years does a 10x. So guys, I put it to you that right now, Bitcoin with history, what we know, it can go down 55% and still recover to new all-time highs. Right now, Bitcoin is down 41%, very similar point testing support as we did right now back here, right? Back in 2021. So we know that Bitcoin can try one, try two, try three, try four times this resistance, support, not manage to break it, and then make new highs. That is on the cards. That is possible. You shouldn't follow me. I'm a crazy guy who sits in his room who's willing to lose the money I put in the market. But if you enjoy me yapping for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys later on in the live.